Being broke might be a test. As we continue with financial literacy and getting to the root, let's delve into one scripture we repeat but may not understand fully. See, actions then speak louder than words. Jesus talks about money in the Gospel of Luke, not as a goal, but as a test. In chapter 16, he says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." But God isn't testing your wallet, He's testing your faithfulness. How we handle our money is a direct reflection of our spiritual health. So God is really watching how you handle your money. When you see your financial struggles, not as a punishment, but as an invitation to heal old wounds, confront your fears, and get your heart right with God, everything changes. See, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and you start becoming the author of a new story. The goal shifts from just getting more money to becoming the kind of person who can manage it with wisdom, integrity, and generosity. Yes, money is a test, not a reward. This is about trust, not dollars. So before I give you a roadmap for your healing steps, allow me to read a devotion from my Sister to Sister book that's part of the Divinely Connected series. And actually, it's coming from the Gospel of Luke, chapter number 16, verses 10 through 13. And I'm going to read it in the King James. Now, by the way, it's all in red, so it's what Jesus said, right? It says, "He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. If therefore you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? And if you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." Now, in Divinely Connected Sister to Sister, it is a 365-day devotional. We walk together and we do life together. But this particular one is found on page 370, and it's called Faithful in Much. And so here's the devotion. What do you chase after? God or money? As we look to prosper, we have to be careful that we are seeking for the right reasons. God is the one that makes prosperity possible, and He is also the one that promises its availability to His children. There can be no greater joy to the heart of a father than to see his children doing well and walking in everything He has afforded for them. God's heart is for your abundant living. A faithful father is the one we serve. His desire is for our faithfulness too. From little to a lot, we are tested so that we know our limits and the area we need to improve. Is your attitude different depending on what you have? Do you treat your brothers and sisters differently depending on what they can do for you? How do you handle working for and with someone else? Are you faithful to give your very best? There is a story told of a contractor that did excellent work. He built mansions and entry-level homes for so many, but always paid close attention to detail. The owner of the company, as the contractor was coming to retirement, asked him to build one last house. The contractor did what was asked, but he cut corners. He didn't put in the same level of precision that he had in all the other homes. When it was finally finished, much to his surprise, the owner gave him that house. All along, the owner had planned to bless him. Because the contractor didn't give his best, what he built for himself was not at the same level of excellence. Can you imagine him living in that house? Every time he looked in that corner with that counter unlevel, he probably cringed. When he walked across the floor that had that dip in it that he didn't feel, he was reminded of how he wasn't faithful. Don't let that be you. Do to the best of your ability everything that you put your hand to do. This includes overseeing the money God has blessed you to manage. Now, that was the devotion, and I read it from the King James Version, but you can read it in others as well. Thought provoking, huh? I wanted to do that to get you started. Now, that was from Sister to Sister Devotional, and I'm going to show you that. It's this book. And yes, I got a lot of things in here, but it's a heavy book. All right. So it is a devotional planner, but it's for 365 days. The entire year we do life together. I have some other devotions as well. Steps to Fearless Financial Freedom is part of that Divinely Connected series as well. And you can get that one too. And it only deals with finances. This one deals with personal and professional development. But I wanted to start there for a reason, because as we contemplate the test that's in there, I wanted to be able to give you a roadmap, but I had to start with you thinking, what if I'm not faithful? See, healing this heart problem as it relates to finances isn't a quick fix. It's a journey. It takes patience, it takes grace, and a willingness to do the inner work. So here's the roadmap to get you started. Read your story before rewriting it. Before you can write a new money story, you have to read the old one. You can journal and ask yourself some tough questions, just like I asked in that devotional, and ask yourself how you want to really respond and who do you really want to be. But you can also go deeper in my online course called Breaking Up with Broke. But the questions include things like, what did your parents teach you about money? What were your first experiences with money? What are the recurring financial patterns in your life? And see, you'll need to be brutally honest about the feelings that come up, whether it's shame, whether it's fear, whether it's anger. All of those can be there. Awareness is the first step. Now, when you recognize these patterns, you see that they aren't character flaws. They're just old perspectives, responses to past pain. And typically in the course, I have you going 7 layers deep, or 7 levels deep as well. Because you're repeating a pattern. Your past is still spending. But freedom starts with forgiveness. That's right. That's step number 2. You can't build a new future while you're still chained to your past. You have to forgive yourself for every financial mistake, and we all make them. That debt, that bad investment, that time that you overspent, let the shame go. You cannot shame your way into a better future. You must love your way there with grace. So release the weight of past mistakes and believe that you are worthy of a fresh start. See, grace breaks the cycle, and you are not your mistakes. Step 3, prosperity starts in your mind. You have to break up with the belief that poverty is holy. It's not. Deuteronomy, the 8th chapter and the 18th verse says that it is God who gives us the power to create wealth. He gave it to us. So wealth isn't itself is not evil. It's the love of money over God that is the issue. See, true prosperity is wholeness and peace and having more than enough to fulfill your purpose. Start rewiring your brain to this truth. Use affirmations rooted in scripture. And when you feel fear or it comes out of nowhere, then you're going to say or declare it, if you would, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. I knew I had some Bible students, some Sunday school students in the audience. That's right. You answered, didn't you? When you feel a lack, I want you to declare, my God shall supply all my needs according to his riches in glory. And yeah, we can add in a cattle on 1,000 hills belong to him, right? So you can also listen to my crown adjusting affirmations. There are several that are out there on finances, but go to that playlist and listen to those too. See, abundance is your assignment. You've been thinking too small. Step 4. This is where increase begins. Remember the principle from Luke, the 16th chapter. Be faithful with a little. See, stewardship isn't about how much you have, it's about what you do with what you've got. Honor the resources you have right now. Not in the future, but right now. So create a simple spending plan, not as a restrictive cage, but as an act of worship. Give, even when it feels small. Generosity is a powerful spiritual muscle that breaks money's grip on your heart and declares that your trust is in God, not your bank account. Remember, he is Jehovah Jireh. So when you prove that you can be trusted with a little, you open the door for more. Stewardship unlocks more. So honor what's in your hand. Step 5. You were built for abundance. Imagine a life where money is no longer your master, but your steward. Imagine it is just a tool that you use to build a beautiful life, bless your family, and support the causes that God has put on your heart. When you heal your heart problem, you don't just fix your finances, you step into a new level of peace and freedom. You're no longer driven by fear, but led by faith. Your self-worth is no longer tied to your net worth because you know your value is sealed and is God-given. You start making financial decisions not from panic, but from a place of wisdom, confidence, and purpose. Now, this is what's available to you. Not just a debt-free life, but a rich life in every sense of the word. A life of abundance, generosity, and a deep peace, knowing that your security isn't in your bank account, but in a God who promises to never leave you nor forsake you. No, not ever. No, not ever. No, not ever. You're not called to struggle. This is your new normal. So, freedom begins here. For years, you've been treating the symptoms. Today is your invitation to heal the source. Your financial struggle isn't a sign of your failure. It's a sign that there's a deeper work to be done in your heart. And the journey starts with one step. And your first step is awareness. If this message hit home for you, subscribe for more content on healing your relationship with money from a spiritual perspective. And here's your first action step. Get out that journal and start writing your money story. Don't judge it. Don't edit it. Just get it out. Acknowledge where your struggle began. And because when you do bring what's in the dark into the light, it loses its power over you. And that is where your true freedom begins. I'm Dr. Chonta Haynes. I'm your destiny designer and also known as your biblical money management expert. I'm here to help you put feet to your faith so that you can walk victoriously. I pray that you have a prosperous, abundant, rich-filled life, the one that God planned just for you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. God bless.